Today we're going to go over Real Estate Investing 101, and we're going to focus on the money side because it is at least half of what you need to know and how to be successful in this business is the money side. It is the loans, it's the leverage, but we call it fuel because it's what's going to drive your business as you learn and go through this real estate investing.
Money, 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 hard money, money for real estate investing. Let's make money, 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 hardmoney.com.
So what does fuel your deals? What makes real estate investors successful? It's really the money behind them and their projects. So how do they get the right mix? How do they put together what we call the right mix of fuel, which is the loans and the leverage? Because those who have the money are going to be most successful in real estate investing. So the fuel that drives your real estate business, we're going to go over that today. And what we're talking about is the money behind the real estate investing. It is more than half of real estate investing is focusing on making sure you have the right mix, the right fuel. This will cost you or put more than hundreds of thousands of dollars into your life over the next 3 to 5 years as you're real estate investing. So we're going to go over exactly what that looks like, how to do it right, and the proper mix for you now and even in the future. So real estate investing is really about getting the best deal, getting the more money into your pocket. And part of that is finding undervalued properties. But the other part that a lot of people just kind of overlook, and I think a lot of it is just because they're intimidated by the lending, the loan side, but it is the fuel that will drive your business. Because if you have the money when a deal comes up, or if you have the proper financing for that long-term project, you're going to be more successful than your other competitors out there. So that's what we want to really dive in today is like when you're starting out in real estate investing, how to set this up correctly, who are the players, and how do you make them really want to lend you the money over someone else. So in real estate investing, there's really 3 sources. The main sources you're going to find who are financing these real estate properties, and they're banks, they're hard money lenders, and what I call real OPM. They're real people out there who may provide that gap funding or just may provide all the funding for your deal. So today we're going to go over that because it's not just picking one, it's really the strategy of what's the best mix. Because we have a lot of different real estate investors who have been in this for years and years and who are very successful, but they use bank financing. They still use hard money, and of course, all of them still are focused on finding more real OPM too, because that is really a lot of the juice behind their growth. So that's what we're going to go over today is who are these entities that are lending, but also just keep in mind that you're going to probably need all of them as you go through your real estate investing career. So first of all, we're going to talk about banks. There's all kinds of banks that come in every shape and form, and there's banks out there who actually love to work with real estate investors, and there's banks that don't. So we're going to go through a little bit of a trick in the near future here about how to find those banks and even those lenders who will look and actually be attracted to you. But the good about banks is that you're going to find the best rates. You're going to find the lowest terms and probably even the lowest costs with bank financing. And also, typically they'll have unlimited funds. So as long as you want to keep finding properties, they're going to find the money for it. The bad thing about banks with real estate investing is you're going to have the experience. You're going to have the credit. And you're going to have the income. They're going to look at everything, and they're also going to take time to actually analyze deals. So it may be 3-4 weeks before you close. Some banks could be faster, but you have to understand that banks are going to go through everything. They're going to look through everything you have to make sure they want to lend to you. They have so many options and so many people to lend to. They're going to be a little more picky on what they are underwriting you at, like what are they looking at? So banks are good in the right position. Every one of these lenders fits in one thing or the other that you're doing in real estate investing. But you just got to remember there's good, they have good rates and they have pretty much unlimited money. But the strict part of this comes into they are going to make sure you have good credit. They are going to make sure your income is there, and they are going to make sure you have the experience, and they will check every couple of years just to make sure that is all working. You just have to know this. This is nothing to be scared about, anything else like that. Just understand when working with banks, you're just going to have to put on your best look, your best suit. I mean, you're just going to have to put together everything and look as good as you can when you're going to banks and looking for bank financing. Second, probably one of the largest pools out there is hard money lending, private lending. You have a lot of local people, you have a lot of national companies. And the good thing about, hard money private lenders is their whole focus is real estate investors. So they're not sidetracked on car loans and HELOCs and everything else that banks sometimes do. Their focus is on hard money lenders. So they want to make sure that they're lending and getting you as successful as possible. So, and they're also fast. So in the real estate investing world, if you want to be able to have a competitive advantage, you need to be fast. We just had one guy a month or two ago. He was one of 5 bidders on a property the first day that it came out. He was $30,000 less than the next bidder. And just for reference, the property sold for about $3.25, $350, somewhere around there. He got the bid because he could actually close in 7 days. He didn't have all the other things like from appraisals to inspections, all that other stuff. So speed and money in real estate investing is very important too. So that's one of the main benefits of hard money is fast, it's quick. They work with investors. But let's look at the other side too. And I'm a hard money lender, but there are some negatives, some bad about hard money too. And that's typically it costs more than banks. Sometimes the smaller lenders maybe run out of money, or limit you to how many deals you could do. So you're going to run into hurdles. And this whole video is about talking about you need bankers, you need hard money, and you're going to need real OPM. You just have to know where they fit, because you need a proper mix, as we call it, to fuel your real estate business. So you have to look at banks, you have to look at hard money, and it might be something where you start with hard money. A lot of people do in real estate investing, then graduate to banks, but you still need hard money when you need to do those quick deals. So the third one is what we call real OPM. This is like real people's money, like your neighbor, your family, your friends. There's a whole bunch of people out there looking for better returns than the banks are giving them now. So they're more than happy, if you do it right, to lend you some money. That may be the money for your down payment, your fix-up, or maybe it's for the whole thing. Or we also have people who are doing longer term loans for your rentals. So the beautiful thing, the good thing about OPM is typically it's easier to qualify because it's your neighbor, it's your friend, whoever it may be. It's typically cheaper because they're not going to charge the points and have the appraisals and all that stuff. So you're going to get easier, cheaper, and typically faster. So when you find the right OPM person, the real OPM person, you've kind of hit the jackpot, because you could call them up and say, hey, I'm going to the auction and I need to compete against these big boys. I'm going to probably need some money. And they just say, hey, where do I send it to? Once you build that relationship, that's where it goes. Now there's negatives too. There's bad about real OPM. And probably the biggest thing is it's just normal people. So they may run out of money. You may do 2 or 3 deals and they're done. Or plans may change and then they stop lending you money. So when you're into OPM, and typically the longer you're into real estate investing, you start finding these real people, these people who want to, instead of making 1%, maybe you're giving them 5, 6, or 7%, and it still makes sense to you. So like we said from the beginning, these are your main lending sources. You have the bankers, you have the hard money people, and you have this real OPM that's out there. And starting out, you may focus heavily on something like hard money. You might find someone who will give you some, what they call gap funding, someone who will give you $20,000, $30,000 for the down payment or just to get the work done. And you gradually will maybe work into the bank side of it, where some of your longer term projects, it's better to put a flip or even a BRRRR or a rental into a product like a bank. But guess what? You're still going to need hard money when you need to do those deals that are fast or short term. Always looking for OPM. So when you're looking at this, like we said from the beginning, money, loans, whatever you want to call it, is the fuel for your business. The faster, easier, cheaper you find this, the more profitable you're going to be, the more money you're going to put into your world. So it's just finding the right mix and doing it as quickly as you can. There's going to be a lot of people who just kind of go like, whatever comes, whatever I find, I'm happy with. I'll pay those couple extra points. I'll pay the extra interest. That's drag on your real estate investing career when you're paying more than someone else, when it's costing you more. You're just putting more money into the lenders, the bankers' lives, and less money into you. So we want to fuel your real estate investing, and that is all about learning, understanding how to get to that next level. And what is your plan? You need a plan. You have to have the guidance to get through this, because it's something if you master right away, as they say, like Jim Rohn said, it's easy to do and easy not to do. So if you just put a little time, like half hour a day for the first 30 days of getting this down, finding your lenders, finding what you need for credit scores. We have a great resource here down below too. It just kind of goes over some of the lenders just to remind you some of the things you need to look at and do. So first step I would do is just download this, read over it, familiarize yourself with what is out there and what you need to do, because that just gives you more power out there. Like I said, some people will, some people won't. The people who will do will succeed a lot more than the people who are not doing something like this. They're not fueling their business. The one thing you're going to find as you're out there, navigating this new world of real estate investing, especially on the lender side, is not every lender is created the same, equal. I hear so many people just go, well, I went to my bank and they said no. Or I went to this lender and they said I need to put 20% down. So please understand that even though it says bank outside or credit union or whatever outside, they're not all made equal in the sense that they're not set up to lend to real estate investors, not all of them, especially the big banks. They want typically nothing to do with you. The focus should be on the ones who do work with real estate investors. Most of these banks just want to do car loans and HELOCs and maybe some credit cards. So if you go out and you get turned down by a bank and they just said this can't be done, you've one or two things: talk to the wrong bank, or you just talk to the wrong loan officer there. That's why we'll go over this here and even in the future. Is like you really have to spend some time on this and develop your game plan in your lenders. And this is no different. I'm talking banks, but it's actually no different than even hard money lenders. All of us are made different for a different client. We focus on one thing. Some people want the people with the best credit. Some people are fine with rural properties. Some want nothing to do with it. I always say it's like like saying I want to buy a car, but you go to a Toyota dealership and you want a Dodge Ram truck. It's not going to happen. You need to go to the place that's selling what you want. And what you want is someone who works with real estate investors, and real estate investors in the place that you are now. So maybe you're a beginner, so you're going to have to find the lenders who work with beginners. So don't get frustrated. Don't get worried that you went to a bank, you went to a lender, you even went to a friend and asked them for something. Just understand that every institution is looking for their ideal client, and you may not fit it yet, but you may get there. And that's even, let's just go to the OPM, the real people's money. You may go out there and you say, hey, I found this person that's perfect. They have some money, they're homeowners, they're looking for bigger interest, but they have no interest in real estate, or they have no interest in the market you're in. So just don't get frustrated. You just have to find the right mix of these lenders that will work with you now and as you grow through the real estate investing career. So I want to make sure as we close this up that you understand this is something that anyone could do. It is simple, but it's also important, because I said this before, it's simple to do, it's simple not to do. The people who actually do this, who take this side of real estate investing seriously, and I don't mean a full-time job, I mean just putting a little effort into it, maybe working with someone who could help them get through this quickly, are going to be the ones who are most successful faster than everyone else. They're going to be less frustrated. I'm not saying there's not going to be some frustrations, but you have to understand how this all works. And it all starts with finding the undervalued properties, but it's also the money, the ease of money, the cost of money. Everything that you put into this will either make you more successful or just create drag on your business. As I said before, we have some great information out here. We have a great YouTube channel. Check it out, subscribe, maybe even share this. As always, happy investing.